And hello, chickens. Good. What's the term? It's not. Speak. Just use words. Speak. What's the opposite of beginning of daylight savings and happy sleep-in day? It obviously hasn't helped my brain. Okay. I acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Wajunga peoples. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and to Aboriginal elders and peoples from other communities who may be taking part in this live stream today. And hey, Ty, as Johnny says. So, yes, Johnny Bergdahl, my Swedish friend, is here. Good morning, Don S. from New Zealand as well. Henrik, all the way from Estonia, I believe. Is that where you're from, Henrik? I can't quite remember. See, my brain is not working today. And good morning to Hooks, Jack's Tech, Jordan, Luminator, Mitchell R. Thank you, Mitchell. I am using your funky tool for getting this list. Crispian, Scott Miller, some call it fun. Stephen George is here, Stephen W. Tassie Bob, Tech Nebulous, The Lane Wagon Loads, Amanda, oh, that's right. So Amanda said, I am fed, coffeeed up, and meds taken, ready for the stream. I am too. All three of those things. Food, coffee, meds. Today is the day. So stream day is the day that I take my... there is one particular tablet that I take for Crohn's disease once a week. And I do it on streaming day so that I don't forget. Dodgy is here. Michael... Good morning, Mr. Fixit, Russell Rainey, Iggy is here, Cable Tie, Imi, Johan, Curtis, and John Whips, David, Matt Latimer is here, Gavin. Good morning to everybody. Hang on, I just saw, did I see? No. I thought for a moment that I saw Sion in the chat, but not in the list. But no, that was Crispian doing the cow introduction. Oh, Michael's cat is here. That's good. Yeah. Jack says, you have been assaulted by the bean counters and had an hour stolen from you, so you will be foggy for a while. But isn't it the other way around? I've been given a bonus hour. The weird thing is, okay, so last night I knew that daylight savings was ending, which means that we get an extra hour of sleep because we all get up later, and my brain is so messed up that it was convinced that it meant that I could stay awake for longer because it would be okay. So yeah, so I just couldn't sleep last night. It was that very annoying thing where I thought, yes, here is one opportunity once per year to get a little bit of extra sleep, catch up slightly, and I failed. Okay, so it's 2 a.m. for Johnny. It's 1 a.m. for John Whips. Cable Tie says, new time zone. Better to watch the spring cycling in Europe.
Amanda Thompson said, no, you just get back the hour you lost when daylight started. Yeah,
that's it. It's robbing Peter to pay Paul, or whatever the term is. Okay, so today I had a vague idea, and I don't know how practical this is going to be, to have a look at some of the full color PCB services. So if we go to JLC, I'm going to bring this up in a second. And yes, I know this is kind of jumping straight into, look at this, multicolor silkscreen PCB now available. I think it was PCB Way who started doing this not long ago. This seems to be the thing that that PCB companies have started moving towards. It's a, oh, Matt, Ollie, so hello to Ollie. So this is something that yeah, it seems to be the new coolness for PCB companies to offer full color silkscreen. And in the past, it used to be possible to, if you were on really good terms with your PCB factory, you could do things like get them to do multiple passes of the silkscreen. So they could do silkscreen in one color and then let it cure, and then silkscreen of another color and let it cure. So you could do a thing that was kind of like a multicolor print process, but it's laborious, and they generally don't like to do it. So it's one of those things where you need to negotiate with your PCB supplier to do it. But it looks like the way companies are doing it now, like JLC and PCB Way, is a different technology. It's not just multiple silk screens. It seems to be almost like they're running like an inkjet printer style thing and then curing the ink onto the board. Yeah, Austin says, pretty sure it is UV ink printing. Exactly, yes. So it is like an inkjet printer, but instead of just air drying like normal ink, it's UV cured ink. So they print on it, expose it to UV, and that makes it cure. Scott says, wonder when they'll start offering photo quality silk. Well, that's what this is. This is printing full color onto the PCB. And yeah, so you stick a JPEG on it, basically. Like it could be a photo. I don't know what the resolution is like, or what the color bleed is like, or anything like that. But you can see here from some of these examples, these are pretty colorful, and they've got graduations and things in them. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how well this works. Just looking at this, it seems like there is a fair bit of fine detail possible. So maybe this is artwork. Yeah, this looks like artwork. This is not an actual PCB. Let's zoom in on that a bit. Yeah, so what this is a JPEG or something that they would then load into the PCB software. So far with JLC, this can only be done through their online PCB editor. So you can't do a PCB in KiCad or Fusion or whatever and add a JPEG to it and send it off for production through the normal process. It's got to be done through their online PCB editor. But the process basically is that you make a JPEG, and where are we? Oh, look at this, 1200 DPI, 6-color UV printer. So it could be a photo on a PCB. Prepare the image. Choose to create your image. Ensure it is in JPEG or PNG format. So import the image. So you've got to do it through EasyEDA. And adjust in position, verify, submit, place the order. Anyway, the point of all of this is I saw this announced and okay, I am guilty of all three of those things. Nerd, unfashionable, devoid of creativity. Kim has said posted 1st of April. Yeah, you're right. It does say posted 1st of April, but this is one of the reasons that I can't stand April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day drives me nuts. You can't trust anything that was posted April 1st, but as far as I know, this is legit. It hasn't been taken down yet. Get free quote. Maybe it is April Fool. I don't know. Get a free quote. Okay. No, that is just for normal PCB assembly. And there is, yeah. Marketing rule 101, don't post on April 1st. Yes, only one way to verify, says Scott. Yeah, well, the other thing is that this was posted on April 1st by JLC, but PCB, I think it's PCB way. Full color PCB silkscreen. It was a couple of months before. Where was it? Not JLC. Not that one. That's the link to the same thing. It could well be that this is an April Fool's thing that's just hanging around, and it still hasn't. It just hasn't had the "oh, gotcha" sort of moment. Now this was. Oh, the other thing is that this is from months before. So if this really is a fake, then they've been setting this up for like 6 months. Yeah. And yeah, so this was from November 2023. And so Robert Ferenak, who is a very well-known electronics YouTuber, posted this picture. And so I think this was from like an early test. Yeah, so there have been enough posts about it that weren't on April 1st that I am pretty sure that it is real. Yeah, but I hadn't even noticed that this was posted April 1st. That is very funny. Yes, so what we could do is mess around with it today, see if we can do an upload and whether it works. How to design multicolor silkscreen using EasyEDA. Alright. I've never actually used EasyEDA. Let's play around with that. EasyEDA. Where is it? Here. Login? Do I have an account here? I don't know. Oh, it's all done through here. Okay, I am not a robot. Yeah, so this is all part of the JLC/LCSC, etc. family of services. What have we got? Project, vision, yeah, one interface, schematic capture, blah, blah, blah. PCB design, 3D preview. Okay. Let's see, design online. Oh, download. Is there an offline version of this? Yeah. Password 1234. Yeah. Design online or download. Do I want to download? Who here has used EasyEDA? I'm sure that yeah, you need to upload your password strength. Change one of those S's into a $sign. What can we design with EasyEDA? The thing is that what I care about here is I just want to see what it's like adding the image to it. So whatever we do doesn't really matter that much. The online one is good too. Okay, says Henrik. I've used a bunch. Let's just start playing. Standard edition, Pro edition. I guess for the Pro edition you pay for it. Smooth design for over 5, blah, more rigorous design for enterprises, more for professional users. Easy to use, simple circuit simulation. It doesn't say anything about pricing. I'm just going to click Pro and see what happens. I bet it's going to ask me to pay for it. Why is there a Pro versus... yeah, Pro is free too, so what's the difference? Why? Maybe just one is more complicated to use than the other? Oh, example colourful silkscreen I just saw here. What does this have in it? If I double click that, what happens? Yeah, is it just that they've tried to put the pinouts in? Oh, okay. Yeah, Gavin came to visit me yesterday, so we were messing around with the IoT access point and a forked version that he's working on, which uses a Raspberry Pi Model A, and it's rotated 180 degrees to get clearance on connectors and things. One is newer with a lot more stuff. Okay, which one? Settings, set your preferences, modify net name, modify property. I don't know. I don't know what that even means. Okay, saving preferences. This is going to be frustrating and funny watching me mess around in here, not having a clue what's going on. Okay, it kind of looks like PCB layout software. That seems alright. Can we... How about doing this? Make it go full screen so that it looks more like software. File, edit, yeah. This is all in a browser, which is kind of cool. Alright, can I, yep, I can two finger drag, I can, oh, dragging up and down zooms in and out, dragging left and right pans. That's the same behavior as KiCad. That's weird. So we've got layers over on the side here. In the top menu settings, PCB, enable the using JLC color silkscreen technology. Top menu settings, PCB general. Okay. Where is settings? Settings is here. PCB general. And where is the silkscreen stuff? Enable the using JLC silkscreen technology. It's probably right there in front of it and I can't even see it. Default new footprint. It's probably turned on already for this project, but click on the net. Oh, it can scroll. There was no visible scroll bar, so I didn't even know there were more options. Confirm track, lots and lots of options here. Follow rule, customize, start, show number, real-time display, route, drag move, other. Okay, there we go, the very last option. Using JLC color silkscreen technology. Okay, so I guess you need to make sure that's turned on if it wasn't turned on already. What are some of the other options? PCB footprint general. Do we have a big cross cursor? Big, yes, that's what I want. Always show cross cursor. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so I've got to apply and yes. Alright. In the placement menu image, select the color picture to be placed. You can also click on a footprint and set the color silkscreen color of this footprint in the properties panel. Right. When generating Gerber, you'll bring a color picture file and place an order in JLC PCB. Alright. Panelize, blah, etc. Only in the Pro Edition if I'm not wrong. Okay. Alright. Now, how do I zoom out? That's right. Two finger drag up, zooms out. I wonder if I can pan. Nope, not by clicking that, not by clicking that. Double click. Okay, if I click left and right buttons, I can drag. I can pan. Yeah. Alright. So zoom in. What is that? I wonder if I can move it. Oh, okay. It's two images. Maybe one on the top and one on the bottom. I've got no, yeah, layer. Bottom silkscreen is that one. Layer top silkscreen is this one. So I've got no idea what to do with this, but just for the fun of it, let's just try putting an image in here. Let's, so this looks like an RFID tag or an NFC thing or something. What's this chip? Can I get some info on the chip? Properties. Properties is manufacturing part, device, NT3, blah, blah, blah. Oh, cool. Of course, it's got full integration with LCSC. So it is probably this one, I guess. Whatever it is, let's click on it and find out. Analog front end? No, maybe it's not that. I don't know. Let's close that window. Close that. I'm going to have a look for an image. Oh, Henrik says use del key to delete stuff when selected. Yep. I'm just going to grab an image. Looking for a random image on my computer that I can put in there. Where's a okay, I've got an image here which is like a meme, which is visually really complex, and I'm going to stick this in because I want to see how well it turns out. So how did it say to do it? Zoom out. Okay, I'm just going to delete both of these, and in the placement menu, image, so place, image, where's image? Image. I can't select an image. Okay, why not? Come on, zoom out, zoom out. Select the color picture to be placed. In the placement menu, image, select the color picture to be placed. You can also click on a footprint and select the color silkscreen of this footprint. Okay. In the placement menu, select the color image to be placed. Maybe I need to have like a layer selected or something first. How do I get rid of this? Layer, that's what I want. Okay, document layer, mechanical layer. Yeah, I want the, say, the top. I'm just totally guessing here that this is what I need to do. All right, I've selected the top silkscreen layer, and I'm going to go into place. I still can't select image. Why not? Yeah. Okay. Why can't I insert an image? If I select that, design, place, image. Nope. Can't do it. Wouldn't it be funny if this really was, yeah, Henrik says try to create a new PCB. Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if this was an April Fool's joke and they had gone to the trouble of actually adding it into the UI for the software and then just never like called the joke. So everybody's getting excited about, oh, we can do full color PCBs. And you get as far as being able to place it and then just get frustrated because you can't. Check the log in the bottom left. Yeah, I don't think it is a... The current project is an official case which cannot be saved after modification. You can save it and modify it later. Okay, that's just a warning. I should still be able to edit. In fact, I have been editing. So I'm just going to delete random stuff. Yeah, I can edit this. I just can't save it. So let's do as Henrik suggested and create a new one. Okay, how do I create a new project? New board? 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 Clicking it, nothing happens. Okay. Really? John says, a quick search shows China banned April Fools, so possibly genuine. Yeah, I think it is genuine. I think I'm just stupid and I don't know how to drive EasyEDA. What is this? Workspace personal filter. Okay, so this is for opening projects. I want to create a new project. How do I create a new project? That doesn't do anything. Okay, all projects. Oh, maybe I've got to select. I've got to go into my own workspace and then do new. Nope, still won't let me create a PCB. And that menu doesn't seem to do anything. So, file menu. Yeah. New. Here we go. New projects. Thank you. See? I just don't know what I'm doing. Test, I'm going to do it in that. And I'm going to say silkscreen test as the project name. Save. Create successful. Open the new project. Yes. So, okay, so now we're in schematic 1, page 1, PCB. Can I open this? All right. Got a blank PCB editor. That's a good start. All right, now, how do I do a board outline in EasyEDA? Are there tools here? Tools. No. What about layout? Route. The thing is that I'm not actually interested in learning about EasyEDA. So I am just messing around with this purely because I want to see what it's like to add an image as the silkscreen and then like generate production files or whatever from it. Tassie Bob, good morning. Oh, Henrik says, I just use right click on the left white area in there. Okay. Right click. What have I got? New board, new schematic, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's got all those options in there. What if I right click here? That's all grid stuff. Where do I get to the tool? Just waiting for tool tips to appear. Polyline, does EasyEDA use that to make, let's see, layer, and I want to do it on, is there a dimension layer, document, mechanical, could be mechanical, board outline layer, that's what I want. Okay, let's just try making a rectangle. Mils, what the hell is a mil when it's not a millimeter? I know it's 1/1000th of an inch, I don't care. I've got to do some stupid mental gymnastics between bushels and what's the other standard unit of measurement in the US? Something to do with football fields. How many football fields do we want to make this PCB? And school buses, that's right, those are the standard units of measurements. So if it's 1/1000th of an inch, then 1,000 of them is an inch. And if I wanted to do a PCB that was like 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters, then it would be about 2,000 mils by 2,000 mils. Okay. So about 2,000 down about, yeah, about there. That'll do. All right. So now we have a board outline. Hooray! Oops, that's not what I was. Oh, stop that. Now let's see if we can do a place. Image. We can. We can do a placement of an image. Yes. All right. I'm gonna. Come on. I can't get that off the screen. Oh, come on. Alright, I am going to drag that onto there and open it. Oh, look at the failure on that. So insert image, that's how it's coming up. Place origin, apply for colorful. Okay, I'm going to tick that. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so if I didn't have that selected and I brought in an image, this is it just doing it as a single color silkscreen, which totally makes sense. So anything that's not white, it just turns into black, or, you know, the inverse. So that is how this would be imported normally. And by saying apply for JLC PCB silkscreen blah blah blah, it doesn't do that 1-bit color conversion, and we end up with an image. So let's just see what happens. And this this image, okay, I'm going to put it right about there. Yes. Now, can I edit the yes, the size of the PCB? So if I wanted to make a PCB coaster of this meme, and yes, this meme is 100% on topic for, I want to move that, for this stream. Tassie Bob asked, why are we trying to place images in EasyEDA? Did KiCad deny your constitutional right to place one? Yes, fight for your right. Your right to insert JPEGs into silkscreens. The reason, Tassie Bob, is that JLC have just introduced full color silkscreens, and at the moment the only way the process works is if you do it through EasyEDA. From what I understand, there is work at the moment to do a plugin for KiCad that will allow KiCad to then generate this as well. But right now, the only way to do this is EasyEDA, which is why I'm messing around in this, and I don't have a clue what I'm doing.
_creations said KiCad almost has a tool that will allow this instead of using JLC software.
Yes. Yet another reason for using KiCad. So, anyway, imported. Now, do we have... so this also... Hang on, I'm going to find... I'm just going to open Eagle for a moment, because I have a very old project from years and years ago. Oh, Eagle wants me to sign in. Ah, you idiot, Eagle. Okay, I'm going to do this. This is actually relevant to this whole thing, because I want to do new PCB business cards. I've been thinking about it for a little while, and when I saw that that there was full color silkscreen now available, I thought this is the perfect opportunity. Sorry, I've just got to get my Eagle password, which means unlocking my my encrypted keyring to get it. And then it's going to ask me for two-factor authentication. So now I have just been sent an SMS. Oh, so I've got to type that in. This is why rights management sucks. Rights management in software is... that alone is a reason for wanting to use open source stuff. Yes, so Stephen said 0.6mm PCB business cards with ENIG text. Yeah, that's right. I did, although the last ones I did weren't ENIG, I did Hassel. I've got some in my bag, I'm going to show you. Now, and where are we? Eagle, where is there an open recent? Because I had this open. No, it doesn't remember. Okay, here we go. Projects, gotta find the shortcut. Projects. Where is the business PCB business card project? It's probably in my old Eagle folder somewhere. B card, is that it? B card light. I don't know. Yes, this is it. Okay, so just before I put this up on screen, I am going to obfuscate my phone number. Oh, it doesn't have origins turned on. Oh, come on. Yeah. I know you can't see this. B origins? No, why can't... I've got to try to remember how to use Eagle. This is weird. Okay, how do I get to layers in Eagle? It is amazing how fast... No, get that dialogue out of the way. It is amazing how fast my brain has moved away from it. Where... layers. Origins? Why can't I see the origins for that text? Where are layers? Where are layers in... This is just baffling to me. Inspector, Design Manager. I don't know. Okay, I think I am going to do the super dangerous thing and reveal my phone number and just hope that nobody abuses it. I don't know if I should do that or not. I suspect I shouldn't. I'd just be doxing myself. All right, there's got to be a way in Eagle where... I can't believe that this is software that I used for like 15 years. Just about every single day for 15 years. And now I can't find how to get to the layers dialog. Where? View Tools Library. It's one of those things that I would do without even thinking about it. The thing is that I do use Fusion pretty much every single day for PCB design, and because Fusion Electronics has now deviated far enough from Eagle that the Eagle way of doing things is like gone from my brain. Oh, there it is. There's the dialogue. Okay. T values. Where are we? I want T origins, B origins. Not measures, milling. Do I want milling layer? It doesn't matter. I'm not even using it in this thing. How can I... Why is it that I still can't see? Oh, I know why. Okay. It's because... It's for reasons. Okay, reasons. I'm going to... I can fix this. I can fix this so that I can bring it up on screen and you can see it. And okay, can I go into how do I go into single layer mode? There we go, single layer mode. And I want to select B place, and then I'm going to select group, and I'm going to delete a whole bunch of my phone number. And delete. Okay. Now it's obscured enough. Turn off single layer mode. Well, that was sad. All right, I've got to exit full screen mode here so that I can bring this up. Alright, so this is from many years ago. This is an old business card design that I did, how long ago? I don't know. What does the, where is it, 8 years ago? Where's the README? 2015. So 17th of December 2015 was when this design was last modified. Business card, yeah, so this is using, alright, so what we're looking at here is the design for a PCB business card with an ATtiny on it. So the footprint, so what it's doing is using silkscreen for this text, and it's a double-sided business card. So there's information on the front and information on the back, which is why you can see all of this stuff. So let's get rid of, now that I know how to find it, I can come into this dialog and get rid of B-place. Okay, so this is kind of, depends which way you're looking at it, but this is kind of the front of the business card. And it's got the logo and the URL. Nothing much else except this circuit. So on this circuit there is an ATtiny 85, and there is a somewhere in here, so that's a USB connection there obviously. Up here, this oddball part here with the 3 pads, that is a TEMT 6000 illumination level sensor. It's a light sensor. What else have we got down there? There's a button. That'd be the reset button, I guess. You can see there's an ICSP header here, but it's all surface mount. And you'll notice that there are no holes through the PCB here, except for the mechanical mounting holes for the USB socket. So it's a micro USB socket in this case. And I deliberately routed the entire circuit so that there were no wires and it was all on one side of the PCB. So the PCB itself ends up totally smooth on the other side of the board. There are no holes, there are no interruptions on the face of the board. It's just a sheet of copper, except for these holes right here for mounting the USB socket on the end. So the idea with this is that if this business card is populated, it is a functional circuit that will read from the light sensor, and it will output the readings via USB. So the business card is actually functional in some way. It's very simplistic, but it's functional. And you can see that I deliberately routed things to make the tracks. Wow, this is really laggy. Look how laggy this cursor is. I'm moving this around and it just keeps lagging. There's obviously no reason for this track to come up the top here, all the way around here, and then overshoot and come all the way along here, and then back around. This was purely for aesthetics, just making these tracks kind of pretty. And the reason that it comes out so far on the top one,
Austins_creations said should look at ST25DV16K, then you won't need USB.
Oh yeah, I've got totally different plans for if I was redoing this now. This is just what I did 8 years ago, 9 years ago, whenever it was. So yeah, this track down the bottom had to come all the way over here to clear this LED. I think these are LEDs. I'm pretty sure they are. So I laid them out so they're symmetrical. So a large part of this was just trying to make the layout of all of the parts neat and symmetrical. So it's all on the center line of the PCB, and these are all in a line, and then the LEDs here, like I think one, what is one? That one looks like a power LED, this one's an activity LED, are symmetrical around the end of it. So there's some static protection stuff there. I wonder what the schematic looks like. Let's have a look. This is this is going back into the archives. So what have we got? So there's a custom ICSP header there, which is just flat pads that it's not through holes. And then we've got oh yeah, 2015. So we've got the USB connector, we've got some static protection. What is that 2K resistor doing on, there's a pull up on the D- pin. Why is that there? Oh, I know. It's because this circuit is, the firmware on the ATtiny was doing like a bit banged USB emulation. I can't remember what the library was called, but there was some thing that you can use to do that. And part of that is faking the, because there's no actual USB circuitry in the ATtiny 85. So you have to fake it, and it uses, so we've got a couple of resistors in series with the data lines, and then we've got a pull-up on D-, and I think that was treated kind of like an open collector type thing, and then you drive it out of the ATtiny. So we've got the TMT6000 light sensor going into the ATtiny. There's the, oh, recording, okay. So there's a start-stop button and a status LED, which is green, power LED, which is blue. Oh yeah, down here I had links to the ATtiny USB stuff. Running how to run an ATtiny without a crystal, because you'll notice there's no crystal in this circuit, and how to do USB with an ATtiny. So I stuck those references in the schematic. Anyway, so that was the business card that I did quite a few years ago. T-Place? I've switched to a... This is weird. I'm so used to the behavior of other software packages now. I just switched to a layer. Hang on, if I go to B-Place, what happens? Aha, it becomes visible. Cool. Alright, so now let's turn off T-Place. And the other side of the PCB, I wonder if I can flip. Can I flip the view? Yes, I can. Okay. So my PO box, you can see the address there. But that's not giving away my actual personal address, and I deleted most of the phone number. So this side of the PCB and all of this text is done as tracks, and if we zoom in, way in, and if I grab, say, the show tool and click on this, you can see that these are not tracks, they're polygons. It's basically rasterized. So this is the image import process in Fusion, not in Fusion, in Eagle. So what I did was, because I wanted custom fonts on this, I created the text that was going to go on this side of the business card in something, probably GIMP or Photoshop or something. I don't even remember what.
Austin's_creations said, so the example silk PCB from JLC costs $6.71 special and $8.71 regular in USD.
That's interesting. Okay, so pricing for this stuff is something that I hadn't even got to looking at yet. Thanks, Austin. Is that just like a one-off price, like one board, or is that a price that is like an extra on top of whatever the normal PCB price is? So yeah, the way they price it would be very interesting to see as well. So the way I did this was that I laid out the text and the logo in some other piece of software, and then you have to save it as a bitmap file, so a .bmp, and then do a conversion on it. To typically what I do is convert it down to be 1 bit color depth, so you end up with just a black and white image. Then you run a script on it, and what the script does is define polygons to create that as silkscreen. And then you run that script inside Eagle, which draws all the tracks. So effectively what it's done is it has made this text by drawing lots and lots of little rectangles. It's basically just stacked lines. Come on, click, 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 click. Yeah, so like if I delete, come on, delete. Can I delete? Delete. Oh, I can't do backspace to delete. Why not? Okay, I'm going to select the delete, use the delete tool. All right. So if I can just delete lines out of here. And this is how the...
Scott Miller said, oh, once it can be done in KICAD. 3D render of a board as a silkscreen image on the board.
Boardception. Yeah, 3D render of a silkscreen image of the board on the board. Oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah, so where's my... Oh, I left my my backpack in the car. Okay, I am going to go out to the car to get my backpack, which has the actual business cards in it, so that I can show them to you. So, I don't even know if the radio mic is going to reach out that far. I'm going to be on the wrong side of a brick wall, so if you lose audio for a minute, that is the explanation. But it's an interesting test. So, I'm actually out in the street now, checking out... Let a car just go past. Yeah, such a riveting live stream. All right, got my backpack, which has business cards in it. I only have a few of them left, and I wasn't really all that happy with how they turned out in some ways. Now I'm going to get one of these, and before you see it, I am going to take a pen to it. It's probably still going to be possible to read through the pen, but anyway, maybe not. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Overhead camera. Got to start that camera. I've got to find the chat. It's got lost in behind everything else. Where are we? Okay. Overhead camera. So, I'm dropping everything now. Just dropped the microphone. It fell off. So this is the actual PCB business card as it was made all those years ago. So you can see the footprints there for the different parts. This is an unpopulated one, obviously. So it's got just the logo and the URL on that side. And on this side, it's got so this is the back, what we were looking at as the back of the PCB in Eagle a moment ago. So all my details on there. And I just did it in black and white. And so this is 0.8 millimeter, I believe. I think it's 0.8 millimeter. I don't think it was 0.6. I think 0.8 might have been the thinnest that I could get. But it's reasonably rigid, and it is actually quite thin. It's not that much thicker than a normal cardboard business card. So it's, as a card, it is quite practical. It's just fairly rigid, doesn't bend like cardboard would, and we can make an actual functional business card. So anyway, this is part of why I was interested in looking at what can be done with full screen silkscreen these days, because it means that you could do a full screen. Scott
Miller said, John, you don't have a set of calipers on the bench?
I normally have two. But this one, I haven't actually used for ages. I haven't replaced the batteries in it because I normally have another pair. Where were they? They normally sit in that container right next to that one. I was using them yesterday. Oh, they're over here at the standing desk. I've been switching between sitting at my computer and the standing desk. So these are my normal.
David Crisp says it does not look standard size business card. though.
No, it's not. Oh, it's 0.6 millimeter. Okay, so this is a 0.6 millimeter PCB. It is not quite standard, and that is one thing that annoyed me about it. Now, I don't remember why I did them this weird size. There was a particular... Now, I'm going to grab another business card and also blank out my name on this one. No, not my name. Yeah, nobody knows who I am. I'm just going to blank out the phone number. Okay, so this is a normal cardboard business card. This particular one was one that I got done, what was it for? I don't remember. I had these made a long time ago. And so it's just got like info about the YouTube channel on the back, contact details on the front, and it's in color obviously, and it's cardboard. But the ratio, like the dimensions on this one, are much more of a standard business card. The PCB card is the same length, but it's skinny. Yeah, I don't know why. I think for a little while, a few years ago, there was a trend towards skinny business cards, and then business cards disappeared entirely. So I don't even know why I'm doing this. It's not as if I hand out business cards all the time. It's quaint, very quaint. So those are the two: the color regular cardboard business card and the black and white PCB business card. Just looking at, I wonder how thick the cardboard is. It's definitely thinner than the PCB. Okay, so the cardboard is 0.35 millimeters. The PCB is 0.6 millimeters. So it's almost twice as thick as a regular business card. But it still doesn't feel terrible. Like it doesn't feel like a big clunky thing. A 1.6 millimeter PCB would feel, as a business card, would feel terrible. But this is thin enough that you can get away with it. It's just like a weird, cool thing rather than something awkward. Anyway, there we go. That is, so the convergence of, yeah, so David says, so people can plug them into their own computers and you can own them. Yes, that's right. It's like a bad USB cable. Evil. Oh yeah, that's a good point. So Stephen W. said you could also do a flex PCB business card these days. Yeah. Oh, Scott says...
Scott Miller said standard credit card is roughly 0.7 millimeters.
Really? It's that thick? Okay. Yeah. So, sorry, I'm just looking back through chat. Make different nets different colors. Could even show hidden layers. Once it can be done in KiCad, 3D render of a board as a silkscreen image on the board. Yeah. Okay, so Austin said that was for 5 pieces, all-inclusive price. All right, so just backing up. So Austin's original comment, I know that it was read out earlier, but I'm going back. So Austin said, the example silk PCB from JLC costs $6.71 special and $8.71 regular in USD for 5 pieces, all inclusive. All right, so 5 pieces, which is like the minimum quantity. So $8.71 in USD. Let's just round it up and say it's $10. That means that it is like $2
System notification, 1 hour remaining
per PCB, all inclusive for full color. That is not bad. Yeah. Also, what this is, I hadn't thought of this before. David's comment about showing the, sorry, it's just someone losing a bit of rubber out the front. It distracted me for a second. Okay, the whole Dick Smith's fun way into electronics conversation that we've had a little while ago, and I was talking about
Austin's_creations said the 200 PCS price is 33 United States dollars and 95 cents.
Ooh. So 200 pieces. Now, I don't know what the dimensions of that example PCB are, but it's probably, approximately in the ballpark. So 200 pieces, which would be a reasonable order for business cards, $33.95 US dollars. So say $50 Australian. That $50 for 200 full color PCB business cards, that is pretty decent. That's not bad at all. I would totally go for that. The problem is I have no artistic ability, so anything that I design is going to look like rubbish. Yeah, as Austin said, far more affordable than I expected. Okay, so the example is 42 by 57 millimeters, so it is a little bit smaller than a regular business card. So a normal business card is about 90 millimeters by 55 millimeters. Roundabout, give or take. Sorry, I'm pausing because I'm hearing voices out the front. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, and there was that car that was just sitting out there turning tires into smoke a moment ago. So example is 42 by 57, which means it would be, very rough terms, it would be double that area. It would be, so say it doubles the price, that is still pretty decent. Glyco Fox, Don said someone has turned up for a barbecue. It's not barbecue day today. Barbecue day is next weekend. So Glyco asked, do you have an API to control your home from the network? And yes, I know this is this is jumping onto a different subject, but very briefly, I use MQTT as the messaging system, and pretty much everything can be controlled through MQTT messages. So the short answer is yes, everything can be controlled through the network. Now, Andrew Pancake Legend said, if you're making the jump to KiCad, there's an Inkscape mod that works well for creating mod files from vector graphics. Okay. Cool. I feel like I need another coffee. I most definitely do need another coffee. Where are we? Where are we? Okay. Now, what should we do? What should we do? I am kind of tempted. A moment ago someone said to check the price. Tassie Bob says, another coffee? I need a coffee. Yeah. Henrik says, could we see the meme PCB now? Yes. So someone was asking, oh, Henrik. It was Henrik. Let's see how much your PCB will cost with the meme. Yeah, let's do that.
Amanda Thompson said, John, I'm up for the challenge if you would like me to design a PCB business card for you.
Oh, Amanda, that would be awesome. Yes, let's figure that out. Okay, we'll get back to that, Amanda, because I want some functionality on it. I don't want it to be just a business card that happens to be made out of PCB. I want it to be actually functional. And a couple of weeks ago, I ordered some NFC chips so that I can make it an NFC business card. So the idea is that for this next one, I want to have an integrated antenna. So the PCB will have the antenna designed into it. There'll be a little surface mount NFC chip on it, so that what I can do is people can tap it to their phone and it will have my contact details on it. And I'll also put a QR code on it, I think probably going to some URL or whatever, including some information. Jack said, I guess the question is it a CMYK print, thus limiting you to white boards? It's a 6-color print process. I don't know what the colors are that they use. Okay, even without doing any tracks or anything on this, I just want to see what's going to happen with this PCB. But my guess, probably, Austin said yes, requires white silk with ENIG. Yeah, that was going to be my guess, that you need white silk as the canvas to work on. Interesting. John said, use your logo as the housing for the chip and the circumference of the design for antenna. Yeah. Yes. What am I doing? Okay. I have no idea. What you're seeing here is me using EasyEDA for the first time ever. I have no idea how to generate production files out of this. So let's see what happens. File, migrate. How do I go about generating production files in EasyEDA? Alright, so we've got an order menu here, which is pretty cool. Order PCB, JLC PCB, PCB SMT, PCB layout service, 3D. Okay, let's just select JLC, and is this just going to take me to the order page? Yes, it is. Okay, so I don't want that. What I want is order PCB, I think. Has colorful silkscreen objects. If generate the colorful silkscreen fabricate files. Yes. Okay, notice. If your colorful silkscreen boards need blah, ensure you have set the technology side at panelize feature. Create technology side, yes. The panelized size, length or width must be larger than 70 millimeters or add technology blah. Okay, just understanding the sentence is going to take me a moment. Colorful silkscreen doesn't support panelized more than 1 by 1 yet. And for more information, blah. Alright, so we need to set the panelization to vcut 1 by 1, create technology side, yes. Alright, so let's try that. We want vcut and we want panelization 1 by 1. It's auto-generated rails, top and bottom, that's fine. I don't know what dimensions this board actually is. What have we got here? Positioning, holes, diameter, whatever. Okay, confirm.
Outside the box said it isn't big enough.
Yeah, I don't think it is big enough. So it said 70 by 70. Was that right? Let's see if I come into... I'm just going to come back into here again and see what it says. vcut, yes. Panelization size or length... Panelized size, length or width must be larger than 70 millimeters. So I suspect if one side is 70 millimeters, then it's probably okay. It would be annoying if you have to do boards that are 70 by 70, because then I couldn't do business cards, because they need to be less than that high. Don S says 90 by 90. Oh, okay. So this is 90 by 90. Alright, I'm just going to proceed with the thing. Alright, order PCB. Yes. Set technology side. I got it. Continue. Alright, so I think we've got the thing set. Do you want to check DRC first? There's nothing on this except one image. So let's just say yes, check DRC. Check errors. Processing. Finished. Okay. He couldn't find any errors because there was nothing to have an error. Coaster. Yeah, 90 by 90 coaster. Uploading. Alright, so it's adding... You can see that I've already got a something in my shopping cart at JLC because I've got some boards that I want to check out. Detected 2-layer board. Alright, so it's made a... Do I have to select white silkscreen or anything? It's selected green by default. I don't see any indication here about it being a and it needs to be white with ENIG, but I don't see any particular indication here. Is detected 83 by 76.
Austin's_creations said select white, then open advanced options to select JLC silk.
Aha. Thanks, Austin. Alright, so I'll go white. Silkscreen is... Oh, PCB color is white. And then where are the advanced options? Advanced... Where... Oh, up there. I guess that's it. So it's automatically changed silkscreen to black, but I'm going to go, and also I'm going to set ENIG and go to advanced, and where is silkscreen by, oh, down here, I see, advanced options. Right, silkscreen technology, aha. High definition, no, it won't allow me to select that. High precision printing silkscreen. Okay. Oh, right, okay, so not advanced PCB. All right, so we'll go back to standard PCB, and I've got white solder mask. Come down to advanced options down here, precision, and high precision printing. So far this is...
Austin's_creations said need ENIG.
Yeah, I thought I selected ENIG. Maybe I didn't. Oh no, it went back. Alright, so ENIG. So far we're at $125. Oh look, they're charging $74 for wire covering. There are no wires on this board. So the majority of the cost of this is actually covering wires that don't exist. Alright. Presumably though, the reason for this is that they need the totally smooth surface to be able to do the inkjet UV cured stuff. Turn off filled and cap wires. Okay, I will do that. Where is filled and capped wires? Edge plating, no. I want to do edge plating one day because it looks so cool. I've never actually had a I've never actually had a board made with edge plating, but yeah, particularly when it's done with ENIG, it just looks so cool. Back to here, where are we? So we've got white, ENIG, we've got high precision. Where do we set the image file? I don't know. So this is only 5 PCBs and it's $52. Let's try a more reasonable number, like 50, and see what happens to the price. Okay, so it's $123 for 50 PCBs.
Creations set advanced options, EasyEDA silk.
Aha, advanced options, EasyEDA, multicolor silkscreen. There it is. You're right. Yeah, I was looking at a high precision printing silkscreen, but that's just the regular one. Okay, let's do a quick recap from the top. 45 minutes.
System notification, 45 minutes remaining.
All right, from the top, quantity 50, it's a board that's 83 by 76, so it's bigger than a business card, but it's in terms of surface area, it's in the ballpark. So we got white solder mask. It's defaulted to black silkscreen, but of course that's not relevant because we're not going to be using the that. It's got ENIG, 1 micron gold because we don't really care about that. Copper weight, don't care. Tented wires, unplugged, plugged, epoxy filled and capped, so I'm just going to leave it as tented. All of these I think can be left normal. No testing, no paper between PCBs. Appearance quality, standard, superb quality. Silkscreen, EasyEDA multicolor silkscreen. I think that's it. Okay, so that is 50 boards for 40 bucks.
Scott Miller said set the board thickness to 0.4.
Oh, good point. Good point. I totally forgot about board thickness. So though, let's see, 0.4. Let's see what happens to the price. Oh, it's gone up to $104. Out of curiosity, I'm going to see what 0.6 is like. It's the same price. Okay, so either 0.4 or 0.6 is $104. So a lot of the cost there is the non-standard board thickness. Will it let you alter the size? Asked John. Second option from the top. I think I can. Let's see if I do 50. Oh, you're talking about just from a pricing point of view? No, it won't actually let me edit that because it's been detected from the Gerbers that were uploaded. But it's still a reasonable indication. Like this is still giving some vague feeling because it's based on the surface area of the board. It's basically square millimeters of board. And if a regular business card is 90 by 55, I know I'm sitting in front of a computer, but I still have to walk over here to grab a calculator. So 90 by 55 is it's about 5,000 square millimeters, and this one is 84 by 76 is 6,300 and something square millimeters. So the board we're looking at here it's a little bit bigger area than a business card overall, but it's in the ballpark. It's going to be off by like 20% or something. So this is still a reasonable ballpark. If what we care about here is the cost of a business card size PCB, this is still giving us an approximate price. So I wonder what happens next in terms of adding the image, because I uploaded the image through EasyEDA, which means that the image is already in their system. The comments did say something about providing the image file though. It's showing green solder mask now. No, that was just because I moused over one of these tooltip things and it popped up a default. Like these aren't even the board, it's just like a generic board image. So FR4 flex aluminium. Yeah, the board is still white solder mask. Oh, no, you're right. PCB color. It has gone. You are absolutely right. Let's go to white. Why did that change? Oh, now it's gone to $154. It must have changed when I changed the PCB thickness. Okay, well, this price changed to green. No thanks. This price is starting to add up.
Austin's_creation said nothing extra. Until you pay, but you would need to reset the setting due to size change.
Okay. Right. Got to go through all the settings again. Some Call It Fun says, yeah, okay, because I changed the PCB thickness. Okay, so quantity 50, white, it's ENIG. These are all defaults, no testing, multicolor silkscreen. Oh, the price came down when I selected multicolor silkscreen. And where was the via? Via's tinted instead of plugged. Yeah, okay. So are we at 0.4? Yeah, so we're now at 0.4 thickness. All right, so $125 for 50. Okay, now without changing anything else, because the pricing does not scale linearly with quantity once you get up, like until a certain point. It's $125 for 50. Let's see what it is for 100. Okay, so it's gone from $125 to $150. The per unit cost has decreased significantly. So if I was going for, say, 150 business cards, then it's $176. It's down to almost $1 per card. Now if I make it 200 cards, will it go over $200? Yeah, it's about, okay, so at a quantity of 200 cards, it'd be about $1 a card, give or take. Yeah, okay. Now, one thing that is unfortunate about this is that it has forced panelization with rails. Now what that means is that when that's going to be interesting on a 0.4mm PCB. How do they V-groove a 0.4mm PCB? Someone's going to have to be careful on the Z-axis calibration on that router. What am I saying? Yes, that's right. So this would be much better if it was a fully routed PCB, because it means that the edges of the PCB have a very nice finish on them. Because this has a rail, top and bottom, it means that those rails are going to have to be snapped off, which is going to leave PCB fibers on the top and bottom edge of the business card. And that is that's
Scott Miller
annoying.
said, and you'll have to hand sand all the cards.
Exactly. That's where I was getting to. So what I would have to do is snap off all the rails and then run the edge of the PCB on a bit of sandpaper or something on a bench to give it a nice surface. Oh, Stephen W says that PCB was done with mouse bites. Oh, Jack's Tech said they likely use pizza wheel style cutters. Yeah, but that's up to me as the customer who receives the PCBs to do that board separation. Because when they ship them, they will ship them with the rails attached. And then I've got to separate them off, which can be done with a board splitter, which is like, it's two discs, one above the other, very almost touching, and you feed the board through it, and it basically, it's like a crush cutter. It splits the board, or you can just bend it and snap it off. But either way, it'll leave little fibers sticking out of the edge of the PCB, which is not great. Oh, Jack's Tech says, oh, I meant for the V-grooving. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, maybe that is how they do it, I don't know. Stephen W. Oh, Austin says, that's because the main PCB was a circle. Yeah, let's come back to here. No, I don't. This particular. Yeah, the original one was a circular PCB. That was the example that I opened. But then I created a new project and just created a new rectangular PCB. And you can see that they haven't done mouse bites on this. So I think, yeah, and you can actually see in the panelization tool, it says V-cut. So what this will be is there will be a line, a groove along the top and bottom of the PCB right at that point. And yeah, I really would be interested to see how well that turns out on a 0.4mm thick PCB. How do they do the groove top and bottom on a 0.4 PCB? This is kind of like a bit of a worst case scenario for them, trying to make them work. Oh, John says, I can't remember, did you upload just top layer image? Did you need front and back printing? If so, would it add to the cost? That is an excellent question. I only uploaded one to the front. I didn't upload one to the back. It didn't actually ask, and I
Scott Miller
don't
said
know.
also, bloody pointy corners.
Yes. Yes, you're right, Scott. They would be very pointy corners and they would draw blood. Hang on a second. Excuse me. My throat is suffering. Yes, so, yeah, if I was going to do this as a business card, I would round the corners just slightly because being fiberglass and copper, it is more dangerous than just cardboard. So a cardboard business card having nice square edges, it's fine. It's not going to hurt anyone too badly. But if that business card is made out of PCB material, that edge could potentially be sharp and dangerous. Even like sticking it in your pocket, it could cut your the fabric of your pocket, or you could cut yourself on it. So doing just slightly rounded corners, they could be very small. But the idea is, if you want a rounded corner for aesthetic reasons, no worries. If you just want a rounded corner for safety reasons, adding something like a 1mm radius corner on the card would take that little bit of sharpness off it and still leave it looking pretty much rectangular, but not as dangerous. Some call it fun, says handy wallet size box cutter. Yeah. Yeah, I can just imagine this being an issue getting on an aeroplane. No, they're just business cards, but these business cards are metal and fiberglass with sharp corners. Yeah. Now there was the question about image on front and back, and so yeah, I still don't know what's going to happen if I do a save to cart. Is this going to ask me? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to click save to cart. I'm not actually going to follow through on this order, obviously, but I want to see whether I need to add. It's updating the cart. Yeah. I just want to see what this order process is like. Now I'm going to go to my shopping cart. There's another PCB there. In the preview, it is not showing the image. So I don't know what will happen. If I order this, are they then going to contact me and ask for the image? Or has this taken the image from the design file, because it was here when I generated the order from here? The image is in it. They're just not showing it in the render. So my guess is that their preview system.
Austin's_creations said if you use their actual Gerber viewer it works properly, just doesn't show on the preview.
Nice.
As far as I can tell, it's working.
Nice. Okay. Thanks, Austin. So if I click on this,
said I got pulled up by security at Melbourne Airport because I had one of those business card multi-tools. Oops, lol.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right, so this is the
Scott Miller
preview.
said what shows in their Gerber viewer?
Yeah, this is the Gerber viewer. And you can see the fiducials on the rails. So they've put fiducials on rails automatically. You can't actually see the edge of the rails because it's just white and white. But this top part is added. That's the top rail. This is the bottom rail. It's a single PCB panel, and it's got the image on it. So let's go to the 3D image. Oh yeah, you can see the V cut there. There's no image on the back, but it is actually showing the image on the 3D preview. This is really impressive. This is very cool indeed. So yeah, I do want to.
System notification. 30 minutes remaining.
All right, now let's do the test of putting an image on the back as well. So I want to see if that makes any difference to the price. Now, I'm just going to find, let me find an image that is appropriate. There could be, I don't know, I've got lots and lots of photos here. I'm just trying to find one that would be kind of funny to, okay, there, no, there. Oh, I'm just looking through pictures here and this reminds me of something else that I want to talk to you all about. I will do that in just a moment. Now, what was this image? I'm finding all sorts of things here that I save all sorts of weird memes to share. Okay, so here's another one that we can add. Who says it was 28? It was way more than 28. Way more than 28. Okay, so it's not a photo. I'd like to, this would be kind of funny to put on the back as well, but I want something that is more of a test of the, oh, Austin says no extra cost. Okay. Yeah, well the whole point of this was to check the extra cost. Oh, what's this one? Oh, okay. I've got all these images that I'm just trying to
Scott Miller said Steve.
Steve, yeah, there could be a picture of Steve. Oh, look at this. Here's a picture of Zara. My cute little kitty cat. Now this one, I don't know if this is real, but this is just something that, it's an old story too. I should probably look it up. This is an image that I saved recently because I just thought it was funny. Check this story out. So I'm just going to leave that on the screen for a moment. Now, where was there? Put Steve on the back. Yes. Anyway, there are lots of things I could put on the back. The point was just to test the process of making the business cards, and my cat is monochrome. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to see what this is like. I think this is fine so far. I mean, I've got no idea what EasyEDA is like in terms of designing a circuit, doing a schematic and laying out tracks and things, but I'm sure it's quite workable. I'd be quite comfortable at giving this a go. The important thing is that the order process seems pretty straightforward, as long as as long as I check all the correct options and things. It's just come through, the image has ended up on the PCB, and I could just continue with the order at this point, and I would probably end up with a bunch of coasters with this meme on it, which is not what I want, but it is kind of funny. Maybe this should be the back of my business card. Yeah. So
Scott Miller said it's no KiCad, but still better than pencil and paper like the good old days.
yeah, the old Dello pen. So the 200 business cards for $200 plus shipping, obviously, and full color as PCB. This is quite
Austin's
workable.
_ creations said pre-sell the coasters in Superhouse shop.
Yeah, and Scott says make Steve coasters and put them in your store. Yeah, I probably could. I should put some Superhouse merchandise in there. I do like this one. I laughed when I saw this because it is so accurate. I've got to throw in those mini stories. Yeah, Crispian says, I can remember when cardboard business cards cost that much. What were those sticky through holes called? Sticky through holes? What do you mean by sticky through holes? So Don S asked, what were those sticky through holes called? I don't understand the question, sorry Don. What sticky through holes? Sticky through holes? Alright, so Dello. Oh, right, Dello style. Yeah, there was the there were the tapes that people used to use. So you'd lay out PCBs on acetate, so on a clear film with tape. What was that stuff called? Someone will know. Someone in the chat will know for sure. And yeah, they used to come with like lots of little holes and things, so you get a little annular ring which represented where you wanted a hole in the PCB for through holes, and you would stick them on the transparency layout tape. Yes, it was layout tape, but there was a particular, yeah, Letraset, says Gavin, kind of like Letraset. Letraset was rub-on, I believe, and the stuff for PCBs was more like little stickers, very thin stickers that you would put on. So you'd use like a blade to pick them up and stick them onto the transparency. There was a particular brand, and it was everybody just called it by the brand, whether it was that brand or not, kind of like Hoover for a vacuum cleaner. Letraset was one brand, yeah. So Letraset definitely did those little transfer things. Where? What am I doing? I don't know. My brain stalled. My brain totally stalled. There was something else I wanted to bring up. There was something I was reminded of. Where was it? Yes, I remember. All right. Now, I'm going to do a quick search for an image. Garage light. I may have even talked about this in a previous stream. I think I may have. It may have even been last week. That's how bad my memory is that I can't even remember I can't remember anything. My memory is terrible. So anyway, lighting in the cleanish room, this stuff looks incredible. I want to do this sort of lighting. These hexagon lights, and you can get these lighting panels specifically for garages. Is what they're designed for. But I just think this would look really cool in the clean room. Scott says, I am the definition of an old nerd. Scott also says, I used to lay out boards for my Altair that way and then etch them myself. Yeah, right. My first PCB was a transistor radio using Dallo, 10 years old, says Don S. Yeah. Yeah. Don says, caution, those are extremely EMF noisy. That's interesting to know. So I assume you mean talking about these light panels. So from what I can see, they're basically just LED strips, but they're arranged in that hexagon shape, which just makes them look kind of futuristic and space age and cool. So in fact, you can see here, if you look in this particular image, let's see if we can see a bigger version of this image. Hexagrids. Someone's done it there in a barber shop. I couldn't think of what this place was called because I have so little need for a barber shop. Where are we? Yeah, so what I was thinking of doing was maybe just taking inspiration from this and arranging LED strip on the ceiling of the clean room in this hexagon grid sort of pattern. just because it looks cool. But I would need to, yeah, so when you say that it is EMF noisy, that must be just the particular type of LED strip that they are using for it. Maybe the drivers that are, like the LED drivers that are supplying power to it could be noisy. Oh yeah, so Jack's Tech said the power supply they ship with aren't exactly great. And Donna said, yes, saw a Trent Palmer hanger video showing the noise issue. And Scott also said that pattern lighting will play hell with trying to inspect
Thompson
boards.
said, buy the LED strips and design your own. You have a 3D printer.
Yes, and possibly more relevant than a 3D printer is I have access to Lachlan's ridiculously big laser cutter, which will do, so I can cut stuff that's like a metre and a half long, I think, somewhere in that region, on his laser cutter. So I could cut strips of like a acrylic backing or something, and then stick the light, the LED onto it. So if I got a big sheet, like a sheet of acrylic, what I would do is cut a whole bunch of strips and then arrange the strips into that hexagon shape. It would make no sense to just cut out hexagons because that would be extremely wasteful of the material. It'd be better to make individual strips in the correct lengths and have the ends join, like have the angle on them, so that you can then join them all together into that hexagon shape with the LED strip attached to it. Yes, you are right. And Austin says, and use the silicon neon rope stuff. Oh, interesting. So Matt says the Clipper Club in Mooroolbark, the barber, has those hex lighting strips. I might have to go and get a haircut just so that I can see the
Scott
lighting
Miller
strips.
said, would Lachlan's laser cutter hold a rack case vertically for etching the front panel?
Just in case you couldn't hear that, so Scott's question was, would Lachlan's laser cutter hold a rack case vertically for etching the front panel? You could lay a front panel in it and etch it, yes. In terms of the area, it's huge. Like, his laser cutter is enormous. It's you could do like a couple of dozen rack panels at the same time, like a couple of dozen rack faceplates at the same time. Oh yeah, so Matt said, yeah, I want to check them out too and make some hex lights. I'm sensing a fun project. Yeah. Now coming back to, where was it? Oh, say Z-axis height though, says Scott. Come on.
Scott Miller said Z-axis height though.
Yeah, Z-axis height, not much. So no, you wouldn't. It's the standard waffle bed sort of thing. So the focal point of the laser is just a little bit above the waffle bed, and I think there's adjustment on the Z-axis, but you wouldn't be able to put something in that was like a few 100 millimeters high, because the distance between the bed and the laser can't be adjusted that much. Yeah, sorry, Scott. But if yes. So this is for rack mount enclosures that are made out of folded metal, is what you're talking about, obviously. So you want to be able to stand them up so that the depth of the rack mount enclosure has to be accounted for. No, we wouldn't be able to do that. We'd have to do it with like a separate front panel. But that is also quite valid. So the way that could be done would be to make so the rack cases that are like the folded steel with the base and then the front bent up, the front face of that does not have to be the final face. What we could do is add a thin front panel that basically laminates onto the front of it. So you would have the holes cut in the front panel using the water jet cutting, and then we have another faceplate that bonds onto that, and that could be done in a laser. It could also be done by printing. It could be done as a PCB. It could be one of these full color PCBs.
System notification, 15 minutes remaining.
Oh, Don said, next KiCad exercise is to design tri-wing 3-rail PCBs. Yeah, so PCBs to make the little joiners between each of these segments. Now, someone in here said... here we go. Scott said, that pattern lighting will play hell with trying to inspect boards. Maybe. Okay, so at the moment what's in the cleanish room... let's do the usual, and we are going to go live to our correspondent in the field. Can I resize this? Yes, okay. So this is a live view right now in the looking into the cleanish room. You can see that there are these white beams going across the room. What you can just see is some illumination in between them. That is because right now what I have is LED battens that are attached up to the joists, or to these purlins, in between the beams. So the light, you can see the light here reflecting on the side of this beam. That's because in the gap that you can't see here, up behind this beam that's right near the camera, there is an LED lighting batten. So there are a series of, basically a series of strips of lighting down the room. You can see the, yeah, you can just see the illumination there. And that does leave some shadows at some angles, but it's not bad, it's reasonably even. And because so much in the room is white, the illumination ends up kind of evening out because you get reflections off all the different surfaces. If it didn't have so much white around, this would definitely be more of a problem. And also having the white floor helps because we get the light coming off the floor and reflecting around the place. So I think having, so right now the illumination is a series of straight lines, and those lines are sort of spaced down the room. I think if the illumination was in a hexagon, it would actually be less. Yeah, so right now it is coming from a number of very distinct locations. If it was done as a hexagon, I think it would end up being more diffused. It would be spread more across. So my idea would be to attach the hexagon to the bottom of these white beams and basically have it hanging at the bottom of that beam height. I think what I would end up with more even illumination than I have now. And the other thing is, you can see in this view that there is lighting along this bench. That's because there is LED strip all the way along under this first shelf. And then at each of the workstation locations, so down here in the bottom right, you can see the label printer from, that's the thermal printer from the test jig. And so there's one workstation there, there's another one there, just it's obscured by the fume extraction, and then there's another one down there. At each of those locations, I've put an extra piece of LED strip above it so that you can see there is a brighter patch right there at that workstation than the rest of the bench, and there is a brighter patch down here at this workstation. There is also a brighter patch obscured. It's behind this fume extractor. So each of the work locations has specific illumination. Okay. The neon rope does not have the same diffusion. I don't know about this neon rope stuff. What is going on with neon rope? Somebody please educate me. Neon rope. I must be missing out on something here. LED flexible neon rope light? Is it just LEDs? Or is it actually neon? What is... That says 12 volt RGB LED flexible neon rope light. Because LEDs and neon lighting are two totally different technologies. They've got nothing to do with each other. What is neon rope? When using lightweight PVC tubing, LED neon ropes emulate the high brightness and even illumination of neon without the price of neon. Yeah, so it's not actually neon.
_creations said, see the link.
Ah, cool. Thanks, Austin. It is like fake. It's fake neon. I'm trusting you to be sending me to a a reasonable ad here. Ah, okay. No, don't allow, and don't ask me every single time that I go there. All right, so $7, so $8 Australian for what? 1 meter. And if we go up in meterage, so I'd have to do some calculations of how many pieces I need. I don't have a plan for this yet. All of this, what I'm talking about now, is just like it's me chasing shiny things. It's the fact that I saw, in fact, I'm going to show you. I saw these ads. I've been getting these ads in coming up in Facebook.
Austin's_creations said that is the raw silicone, not including LED strips.
Yeah, okay, so that is just the carrier for it, and then you got to put the LED in it. Yeah, so there are things like this, these garage lighting. So this is, what size is that? I don't know, I can't remember. So $1,100 Australian for that size. Like basically they sell it in different size kits. But based on the EMF comments that a couple of people have made, I think what I would be doing is looking at making my own. Alright, so this is LED neon rope tube silicon gel flexible. Oh look, this is keyword stuffing 101. Let's get all the keywords in there. So what I would want at least is the greatest diffusion possible. So I would want to go for that style, I guess, where it is flat strip in the bottom.
Austin's_creations said I used the above seller for RGB CCT and circuit LED strips.
Oh, okay, cool. So you've already bought from that seller. Thanks, Austin. Wattage. I wonder what shipping is like. Like if I ordered a 5 meter piece of this stuff from China, it says shipping is $5.72. How do they ship that from China for $5.72? I don't get that. Yeah, so what I would probably do is order it in the longest lengths possible and cut it.
Creations said I sent a new link, FYI.
Okay, cool. Let's see the new link. Yeah, KHT said it's not real neon gas, it's just LED strip. Yeah, neon style. Exactly. Hang on, a new link. Where is the new link? But I don't see a new link. Oh, that's because where are we? You see, what's going on with my chat? Like, yeah, I don't get it. Weird. All right. Oh yeah, Jacksec said heavy government subsidies on shipping out of China. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this in the past. There is a whole complicated reason behind the shipping costs out of China and the international postal treaties that play into it with the rebates, the rebate system that is used by different postal services. So Austin says yes, it can be bought integrated, tends to cost more, I find. Oh, and Jacksec said another option might be EL wire. I don't know about EL wire being bright enough though. That's oh, and Austin says EL wire would definitely have EMF issues. KHT said if it's just for task lighting, I would get cob strip, which would be brighter white than LED neon strip. Yeah, so this is just for overall lighting of the room. I just want to make the room bright, basically. So what I would probably do is order several of the, hang on, where's the style that I want? Is it that one? Come on, show me the preview. That one, yeah. So that is $41 in that style. 19 in that style, so that's the flat one. 35, 21, 23. So the price varies significantly depending on the style that you've selected. That edge lit one is kind of cool. This one seems kind of cool.
System
but I think this one
notification, 5 minutes remaining.
is the one that I would want. 148 for this one. That's a edge for 15mm PCB. That's quite a complex structure. What's this one? $200 for 5 meters. Wow, for 20mm PCB. Okay, that one's huge. That's 50 millimeters wide. Oh yeah, that's enormous. So the dimensions on these, I wasn't even paying attention to the dimensions. Let's have a look at the dimensions on this one.
Creations said new link for the Cobb version.
Ah, excellent. Thanks, Austin. And oh, look at this. Once again, AliExpress thinks that I'm in Vietnam. It keeps changing me to Vietnam, even though here it knows that I'm in Bayswater. So Cobb strip loading, 12 volt, 24 volt, etc. Emitting color, DC 24 volt white, natural white, warm white. Wattage, let's just go for 20 meters. I'm just looking for pricing here. I'm not going to be ordering this now. I actually don't have the spare cash to be doing this right now. This is more of a wouldn't this be cool thing
Scott
at this
Miller
point.
said south or north.
South or north? What do you mean south or north? Okay, so what are we doing? Cobb strip. What are the options here? With 2 wires? With DC head? Yeah, just with 2 wires is what I would want. Color DC 24 volt white. 20 meters is $73. Yeah, so this is not going to be a cheap exercise.
Scott Miller said Vietnam.
Oh, Vietnam. Okay, North or South Vietnam. I don't know. Maybe it thinks, but as long as it doesn't think I'm in North Korea, that's the important thing. Yeah, I would need to do some planning. Basically what I would need to do is look at the dimensions of the room and work out the pattern that I would want. So what dimensions each of the hexagons would need to be, and from there figure out how much length I need of the LED. So it looks like this stuff is already kind of diffused. I haven't used this before, so Austin, if you've used this before, do you know? Hang on, what happened then? Brightness, contrast. Yeah, would I need this like mounting and diffuser, or could I just use this on its own? If this was exposed, I don't know what the surface of it looks like. Go back to here. It looks like it is. Oh, okay. So Austin says the Cobb basically already has the lighting.
Austin's
casing.
Creation said yes. The Cobb basically already has the casing, and ends up being fully diffused.
Yeah, nice. So it's got that diffuser over the top. So all I would need to do then is make up the mechanical structure that this would stick to. So it could be little thin strips of acrylic or something. Yeah, okay. And run this along it. So then I would just have to work out how to do neat joints at the at all of the corners where the hexagons meet up. I wouldn't use the wires that come off this. I'd cut this. Also, this would have to be cut at each of the points. Probably have to trim back the cover at that point to expose the copper for the connections. I'm not even sure if it's possible with this Cobb lighting, but with normal LED strip you can cut it and then join it, because you can just solder onto the copper traces. Austin says aluminium for heat dissipation.
Austin's _creations said aluminium for heat dissipation.
And Don said the same
Brandon
thing.
had no idea how warm they get.
Yeah. John says works really well with Quinled's I never know how to say that. So Quindor's projects, the Dig Uno, Dig Quad. Yeah, how easy is it to splice? That is the
System
question.
notification. Stream is over.
That is the question. How easy is it to splice? Because I would need to be splicing this a lot. There'd be a splice at, or multiple splices at the joins. Has spots where you can splice, says Austin. Oh, okay, good. What I would probably want to do then is step one, order a bunch of this. I can see lines on the back there. That might be the splice locations. What I would need to do is design the hexagons so that the dimensions work with the spacing on the cob strip, so that when the cob strip is cut, the end of that ends up just adjacent to the joint, so that there isn't like a black spot in the middle. Although that could actually look kind of cool as well.
Austin's _ creation said maybe buy a 0.5 meter section to test.
Yeah, 0.5 meter, or I could buy a 20 meter section to test. No, I'm not going to be ordering this today, that's for sure. But because the thing is, if I did this, I wouldn't even have time to do anything with it. It's this is all still. Hang on, where are we? Okay, gonna get out of here. Get out of there. Back to here. Okay, so these hexagons have joint. You can see that the illumination runs right into the joint, so it's continuous. I think. So my main concern with this is making these segments join up so that the LEDs come up right adjacent to each other and the joint is so small that it is a continuous run of light. But I'm just imagining this with a little break at each of these joints so that the hexagons are made up of individual strips, like lines, and they don't quite join. I still think that would look fine. Particularly if there was like some little 3D printed cover or something that
Austin's
went into that joint.
Creations said solderable PCB splice.
Yeah. So I think doing this as a DIY project is a perfectly feasible thing to do. Oh, that's kind of cool. Look, on this installation, they've hung it at an angle. They've put in two pieces and they've angled it towards the center. That does look cool. Yeah. Anyway, it looks kind of futuristic. I mean, maybe in a couple of years' time it's going to look incredibly dated. I don't know. He's happy with his lighting. He's loving it. Yeah, maybe it'll end up looking dated, but I think it would fit the aesthetic, like the theme of what I'm going for with the science fiction medical facility look, which is what I've been wanting to achieve with it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't let this stream run too much over time because today I am being an Uber driver for my daughter. I've got to go and pick her up and drop her off somewhere. So I can't run over. I need to wind it up pretty soon. Sharky has just arrived. G'day, Sharky. Oh, Austin says, be cool if you wire it in segments and animate it when it turns on. Yeah. It could be made to look really cool. I mean, the ideal would be if all of the LEDs were addressable, but if the segments were addressable, that in itself could look really super cool. And Jack's Tech said hexagons are the bestigons. Yes. Scott says another option, just make PCB panels with addressable LEDs and cover the whole ceiling, then create your pattern in software. Yeah. It'll only take about 1 billion LEDs. And Austin says, add a speaker to make a contactor sound as it turns segments on.
System notification. Peter is hangry. 5 minutes
What is a
ago.
Fremont Street? So Don said, if money was no barrier, do a Fremont Street. Fremont Street. Fremont Street? Outside the box says, use a massive screen on the ceiling instead. Yeah, I could just go out and buy like 50 TVs and attach them all to the ceiling. That solves the problem. Oh, are you talking about the Las Vegas Street? I've just done a search for Fremont Street. Yeah, so Fremont Street, Las Vegas is the second most famous street in Las Vegas, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it's just like solid LEDs on every surface, I guess. Is that what's going on here? That's an old-timey photo. That, yeah, look at all the neon. Yeah, a lot of lighting. Fremont Street's illuminated space frame. Oh, okay, so is this what you're talking about? The whole thing here covered in lighting. That looks enormous. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Dome ceiling. Yeah, so some call it fun said domed ceiling arch that covers the sidewalk. Yep. Yep. Stephen W. says, my parents refused to be Uber drivers when I was younger, and not just because Uber didn't exist that long ago. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, people should... part of the role of a parent is to teach their children independence and self-reliance. I know, I understand. But this is... I do this as a deliberate decision, as an opportunity to spend time with my daughter, because I don't have many other opportunities. So I use this as an excuse because I want to as much as I can. And so, yeah, I basically just tell her, anytime you want to go anywhere, let me know. I will drive you anywhere, anytime, because it gives me a chance to see her. Alright, so I am going to wrap it up, but this has been interesting. Okay, playing around with full color PCBs in EasyEDA has been interesting. It's quite encouraging. I think that is...
_creations said make sure to delete that JLC cut so you don't accidentally order.
Thank you, Austin. That is a very
Scott
good
Miller
thing.
said you're a good dad.
Oh, thanks, Scott. So, delete this. Yeah, I'm deleting that order from there and just leaving that other thing in the cart. I'm going to close this. I'm not going to save it. I do like that meme. That is quite... that is so me. But yeah, this whole multi-color silkscreen thing. Now, I just wish that I had paid more attention in art class at school, because I am not artistically inclined. But for those who are, that is very cool. So there are a number of people who even without this have done very creative visual PCBs. By working around the limitations of silkscreen and using exposed copper as a way of adding extra colors and that sort of thing. And for the people who have that creativity, this is just going to take it to a whole new level, being able to make PCBs in that way. So I am going to go and... sorry, don't know what I was thinking then. How to end a live stream? I don't know how to end a live stream. I think we all know that by now. It gets to the point where it should end.
Said, can't finish the stream yet. Haven't seen Steve and Steph.
Okay. Here's Steve. Here's Steph from behind. Steph was backwards on the plinth. So we've got Steve and Steph there. And Stephen W said, so this is in relation to me offering a lift to my daughter, she could exploit this agreement for a free trip to Queensland to get away from the Melbourne winter weather. Yeah. True. She probably could. But in any case, I am going to go...
Imogen Ann said you from Crispian.
You from Crispian. Okay. Uru. Uru from Crispian. Okay. And because Crispian said Uru, it is time to end this stream. So, Uru to you. Have a fantastic weekend. And I will talk to you all really soon. See ya.